What is up, Cubing World Nation? I'm your host, Killer. Oh wait, Rhys Star. Let's get right into the
tear news.
News.
Actually, we'll do follow up first. So,
Yep.
let's get into that.
Woo.
Rhys, you were talking about Square One EP algorithm learning last time. Want to follow up?
Oh yeah.
How's that going? Have you? What was your plan?
So
You were gonna try and learn them all in a week or something.
2 months.
2 months.
2 months I was given.
2 months.
Which was fairly. I think it was 1 or 2 months, but that was fairly reasonable, right? And basically, my Chi Square One broke halfway through learning them. I finished. I think it was 46 of them, and then it broke, and then I was sad, and then now I only recently fixed it, with super glue, and just learning random stuff now. I'm not even trying to just push it, just learning them when I feel like it, basically.
Do you reckon you would have finished?
Possibly. I mean, probably the biggest, and hardest part of learning EP is a lot of the cases are really similar, and basically they're all, a lot of them are just mirrors and inverses of each other, so it's kind of really difficult to remember which one to use at the right time or whatever, which just made everything a whole lot more, difficult, so, yeah, I might have finished, I don't know.
Are you going to try to sort of start again from the 40? Set yourself another goal, maybe?
Look, I don't really want to push goals, again, because I don't think I've ever set myself a goal that I've actually, fully made. But, no, I think I will get around to learning all of them in time, but for now, I mean, 50-something is enough.
Nice.
How many are there in total?
99.
Oh, that's pretty
Okay.
good.
Have you learned anything when trying to learn these? What would you do differently next time?
Learned anything? I learned a bunch of algs.
Yeah, well, yeah.
No.
What? No.
Not particularly. I mean, they're just algs. It's like saying, did you learn anything new?
Well,
while
not did you
learning
have a
PLL or
spiritual
something?
did your third eye open?
It is useful to know, some of the really crappy cases, there are some awesome algs for. Stuff like U-perms plus H-perms. Those, together, those cases really suck. But, once you learn all 4 of them, they're pretty good. So, yeah.
Alright, so, moving right along, let's get right into the news, as they say.
Or, into the noose.
Into the
Am I right?
noose!
Kill me.
Swag kids.
Alright.
So, there's this website, veteran cubers will be aware, you know you've been cubing too long when, which was a website that was up for a while, and then, they stopped receiving submissions. But a new one has been made. For those who aren't aware, the basic idea with this website is you'll go on, and then you'll say you'll know you have been cubing too long when ... and then what's your answer, and you put your name. And some of these are actually hilarious. So
There's probably about, I don't know, 100
There's only,
or so far.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of them are actually, really hilarious, relatable. The latest one is from Rhys Campbell. He says, you know you have been cubing too long when you have to learn near useless subsets with over 50 algs just to be 1 second faster.
Story of my life. Faz kind of commented on it twice with some pretty good stuff that Faz would say.
Felix, you don't remember how many world records you have. Yep, relatable.
Yep. And the other one was, you know you've been queuing too long when you think world record when you see world record.
What?
I don't get it.
Yes.
When you give your whole family guanlongs for Christmas.
That is something that I could definitely relate to. Whenever there's a birthday, I just pretty much get them a guanlong. And they're like...
That's cheapskate, man.
But the thing is though,
because like
they think it's some sort of professional speed cube because it's better than a Rubik's, and they're like, "Wow, this is amazing." I'm just like, "Yep."
but if the cuber is like sub 30 on 3x3, they're gonna know that that's gimmicky as.
Yeah.
That is pretty.
Who has friends that are sub 30?
I do.
Well, yeah, but you're an exception. You just get it because you don't have any cubing friends, and you're like, please get into cubing. I need a friend. Just give him a bunch of guanels.
Oh,
Just force it on him.
that is a bit savage.
You know you've been cubing too long when you passed geometry. Have you ever gotten that? Like someone walks up to you and it's like, "Are you good at maths? Because you can solve Rubik's cubes."
Yeah.
The thing is, like, there is a correlation between people who are good at maths and like Rubik's cubes, I think. But then, like,
Yeah.
you need to explain to them. But wait, no, it doesn't have anything to do with maths. And by that, they've already like accepted. Got to be good at maths.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, 90% of the cubers I know, excepting Ro Hessler, I think, were like pretty decent at math in high school. Which sounds like super cliche, and I totally sound like a non-cuber right now, but like it's true.
Yeah, like cubing sort of appeals to the same sort of genre of people, I guess, as people who are good at math.
So right now, there's been like a total crapstorm in the community of posts saying, "MoYu, please stop releasing cubes because you're wasting our money, etc., etc." And we are here today just to point out why this is a pretty stupid argument.
The reason this started was because it sort of spiked back up in the community was because MoYu released a thing on their Facebook page which was all like, hang on, let me just get it up now. MoYu gets a lot of flack constantly for releasing a lot of cubes, like almost like a couple every month. And they said on their Facebook, in the messages and comment section of our Facebook page, a lot of cubers asked us, "Hey MoYu, are you going to release a new 3x3? Will you make a new 4x4 or 5x5? However, the reaction of some cubers, "Oh no, you are making too many cubes. Stop, you just want to make money."
I'm just gonna stop you right there. Business. The whole point of business is to make money. If you're saying stop, you just want to make money to a business, they're just gonna be like, "Nice one, Sherlock."
Yeah.
But like honestly,
Yeah, like you can't blame them. They're just trying to grow.
Make
their
a living.
business.
yeah,
Exactly.
If businesses couldn't make money, no one would make anything.
yeah, exactly. Well, communism.
Let's talk about
Let's not
communism.
go there.
Yeah.
Ah.
So, I guess, I mean, it's not like we haven't complained about this in the past. Like, the first section on our first episode was all like, "Whoa, too many 3x3s." Except it was like, "Whoa, too many 3x3s." But
Right.
Like, "Hi, Rhys." Yeah, and then Brad's even worse. Brad on that video, I swear, his voice is like higher than Chipmunk on steroids.
But yeah, like, we've complained about this in the past, but yeah, MoYu raises some good points, which I pretty much all agree with.
Okay, so this basically, well, the whole thing basically originated from, I think it was JR Cuba released a video on the Waylong GTS where he basically dissed the cube for like 3 minutes and then said MoYu should really stop releasing cubes and stuff like that. And then LT Cuba got onto the problem and he said that like MoYu should stop releasing cubes and stuff. And then there's been recently a bunch of people who have just come out and said that that's a stupid kind of idea or mentality to have, which is completely true, including me. I left a very heartfelt comment on LT Cuba's video. It wasn't heartfelt at all. I really don't understand where people are coming from. Mainly, the reason is, how does it affect you if a company decides to release more cubes?
Yeah, exactly. Like
what is the problem?
It's not like you have to buy every single cube that comes out.
They're forcing me
Yeah,
to
which
buy
I'll
all
say-
these cubes.
Although some people might think that.
No, like my PayPal is attached to them, and they like use it to just buy all the latest cubes.
Yeah, if they were just like
No,
there was
just-
a pipe in
just
your
no.
house that was shoveling MoYu 3x3, like waterboarding you with MoYu 3x3s, and maybe I'd understand the criticism, but
just like just a conveyor
yeah,
belt.
it's like connected to your paper is just chugging out money.
But I like posted a link to LT Keeper's video. You can check out my heartfelt comment.
So what was LT Cuba's video about?
But
What
sorry?
was LT Cuba's video about?
it was just basically saying that MoYu should really stop releasing 3x3s and stuff.
And then you responded.
And
Why are
Sorry?
you so
Your response.
triggered? Lol, I wake up in the morning, I'm triggered. I get in the car, I'm triggered. It doesn't affect you in any way. In fact, your whole effing channel relies on new cubes being released, so stop complaining. Okay, that touched me.
yeah, it did touch it.
Well, that's one way to
no.
respond
And then
to a video.
one of the first cubers to speak out was Clark, or on YouTube you might know him as Leo Diggo 12345, and he made a 23-minute video on this topic, which could have been probably shortened to about like 2 seconds. No offense, but like I completely agree with you, but you made that video too long. You used like 17 different metaphors, and it just got a little bit long. So I got to 7 minutes. I just felt like I'd seen the whole video.
Yeah, I mean, like, if
Um,
anything, YouTubers should be the ones who are
Yeah.
encouraging new cubes to come out, because it lets them make reviews on them or whatever
Mm.
to report the
Yeah.
news.
And then, since then, MoYu has come out publicly and said that they were going to release a Waylong GTS version 2, which had better stickers and a screwdriver added to it. And that was quickly taken down, and they put up a post which Brad read out. And then like other people like Paradox Cubing kind of came out publicly and talked about this and everything. So yeah, it's weird. It's a weird topic. I mean, I just don't understand why people are complaining. There's literally nothing to complain about.
Well, there has to be some reason that like people are getting all jazzed up about this, because like otherwise people wouldn't be getting.
Yeah,
So like, what do you think it is about MoYu releasing all these cubes that's pissing people off?
I don't know. I really don't know. I feel like people. This is one of the things that Clockwork said, that like, people in the old days, there were two cubes that you chose from, which is the Zanchi and the Guhong, and then like, if you weren't using a Zanchi or a Guhong, you weren't fast. So those were the old days, and then these days people are so spoilt with their cubes. It's just
Freaking
like
murder.
we have too many of them.
Yeah, you sound like some sort of grandfather talking to a child on his iPad.
Really, I think the solution to this problem is just buying a Chi Thunderclap, but I just think it's a silly thing. I don't know why people are angry.
Yeah, I really don't. I don't understand. It's not like you have to buy cubes. The only reason I could think of is spam. That
Yeah.
literally
Yeah, I
couldn't
guess.
think of anything else.
I think one of the things is like a lot of the older cubers might be coming back to kind of revolt against this, because they
Back in their day.
what was I gonna say? Back in their day, they felt inclined to get every single cube,
Yeah.
because like there were 5 out there. So nowadays, I think they still have that urge, and
Yeah.
it's just not working out anymore. I know personally, I haven't bought a cube since like February, so
Stop it. Get some help.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
yeah,
haven't bought a cube this year.
yeah,
So.
you really. Yeah, it's like you don't need them. Just buy a thunderclap. Jesus. So yeah.
Well, yeah, I think, as you were saying, like, the reason I would think people are getting pissed off at this is that they sort of feel like they need to buy the cube, like it's their responsibility. And then,
Yeah.
and then it is like it's hooked up to their PayPal account and they're waterboarding them with cubes. Because it's like their inclination. So maybe the issue isn't with MoYu and is instead with the people who are buying these cubes. And that's what people are getting pissed off about.
Which is hilarious because you're essentially ranting at yourself at this point.
Yeah, exactly.
You're just like, damn it, me, why do you keep buying new cubes?
Okay, so, like, on their post it says, in the professional cubing community, like, there's professional cubers.
Yeah, there are, though.
There's, like, 3 in the world. In the professional cubing, we have to keep investigating and improving. Like, how many of MoYu's cubes are actually improvements, or how many of them are just variations with, like, little quality changes overall?
Yeah. I think one thing that people could possibly be getting angry at is that MoYu keeps
The lack of change.
yeah, kind of that. MoYu keeps advertising these like it's the new best 3x3 on the market with 60-degree corner cutting or whatever. And people feel inclined to get them because they think they're going to be like 10 seconds faster with them. But in reality, it's just a change of feel and not in actual performance, which all of their cubes really haven't fluctuated in performance over the last, like, year. So, yeah.
I can agree with them saying that you need to keep investigating and improving, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to mass produce every single copy that you make to try and improve. I mean,
Yeah.
I
fact, I think it's like a
yeah.
I think it's like a good thing because they get responses back from the community, and that just tells them like how to make their next product better, which is a good thing in my opinion. I mean, speed cubes aren't getting any worse. Well,
Yeah,
that's
that is debatable.
but, like, I mean, JR Cuba did say that he hated the Weilong GDS and it was a terrible cube or whatever, which is literally everybody else loved it. So. I don't really see what he's talking about there, but like, yeah, I mean, I definitely don't think it's a bad thing. I mean, it doesn't affect people in any way.
Yeah, or the other argument is, on MoYu's post, some of you may think there are only slightly change on a new cube. Maybe they should spend a little longer and make some bigger changes instead of having tiny little changes. Like, is that an angle that should be thought about? Maybe MoYu should do that, or should they just keep going with tiny changes each time?
I'm fine either way. I mean, somebody, big channels are gonna get sent them and review them, and we're gonna work out if it's truly the next thing. If not, so be it.
I reckon they should what they could do is just do some like local testing on the cubes, and if it's like really not anything special, maybe they can just modify it or something. Because yeah, then you'll get those people complaining that there's no change.
Well, they probably already do that.
Yeah, I mean,
it says we spend a lot of time testing these cubes.
Oh yeah.
Local testing would be good because like now people will realize that the Yushin 6 was recently released to market. And pretty soon afterwards, a mod was released to make it less stiff, where you essentially took the Yushin 5x5 springs and put it inside the 6x6. And, I mean, if they actually got this guy to test the cube before that, then create the mod, then take the cube back, they literally just could have mass-produced it like that and saved people a bunch of trouble.
If you take it to the 2 extremes, right? Take it to one extreme where MoYu never releases any cubes again. I don't think anybody wants that. But then if you take it to, like, the other extreme where they're releasing a cube every day, like, would you guys be on board if they started releasing a cube every day?
I would be on board, because I would just buy one of them, and then, like, that would be good enough. I would just stick with that.
Seriously?
Buy one each year,
I
yeah.
wouldn't be interested in any of them unless one of them was some revolutionary.
I imagine there were a few channels, like, the review channels wouldn't even be able to be like cinematic anymore because there were just so many cubes coming out that they wouldn't have time to
my
edit.
review of MoYu Cube daily release
Cube number 764. Oh, okay. Right, yeah. Let's not go there.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well, yeah, but like, would you seriously be? Because like, there has to be a limit here. Because like, I mean, obviously, 1 cube a day is impossible, but
yeah.
maybe I'm just using it to illustrate the point that there has to be a point at which, they're releasing too many cubes.
1 cube a day wouldn't be that impossible. You'd just like get Waylong GDS version like 74 and just like add or remove a stupid gimmick from it.
1 cube a day keeps the doctor away.
Like MoYu Waylong version 76 now with extra blue stickers. But no, I'm interested to talk about barriers because this is a subject that like I just got
Want to get
kind of invested in.
Let's get right into the barriers.
Into the news.
Right, so introduce us, Rhys.
No, I think we're gonna need to make the title of this video like the most clickbaity thing possible.
Yes.
And then just like put hashtag cubing show
101 cubing super tricks to supercharge yourselves.
Yes. Top 10 list.
Cubing experts hate this pill that boosts your solve speed by half the time.
Why Russia are doping in the World Championships? Okay.
Get
so
the
let's
new
talk about
MoYu 5x5 by clicking here.
Hot stickerless cubes in your area.
Okay, stop. Too much clickbait. Okay, let's go to barriers. Okay, so recently I broke the sub 12, well, I've been kind of sub 12, on the verge of like 12 seconds and 11 seconds for like a long time now. But recently, it is fair to say that I am completely sub 12. My PB average of 100 is like 11.30 something now.
Nice.
Which is pretty good, and my 50 is like 11.1 something. So I think it's pretty fair to say I broke that barrier. But the interesting thing about breaking this barrier is that I don't feel like I did anything special to achieve it. I just got kind of faster all of a sudden. And I just want to talk about this. Like, has this ever happened to you guys where you've just like broken a barrier all of a sudden? Like, whether it be sub 20 on 3 with sub 1 and 4x4, whatever. Where it's just like happened one day. Because this also happened to me with Mega Minx. I got sub 2, just dropped 20 seconds in like one day for some reason. I'm not exactly sure why, still to this day. It just kind of happened. So yeah, what do you guys think?
I've broken barrier before, kind of like your situation. It was when I first got sub 20. Sorry. And then yeah, I was trying to get it for a while, and then
Clickbait alert! Bryce almost dies after coughing incident on the cubing show.
You won't believe what happens next. Sorry, go on.
Alright. Yeah, so I was trying to get sub 20 for a while. And then, yeah, one day I just seemed to average about 18 seconds, and I was like, what? And I think I know what caused it. I started to watch a lot of, like, solves of faster people, and I don't know, I guess I just got used to seeing the cube go that fast and being so fluent.
I think it's actually definitely a good idea to, check out a cuber who is just faster than you and broke the barrier that you're trying to currently break. And just observe his solves and see what he's doing that you're not doing currently. I mean, you might be doing quite a few, but you might also not be doing. So in my case right now, I might just watch, like, cubers that average 9 seconds or whatever. I don't need to watch 6-second averages, because I'm far from that. But, like, 9-second averages, they're pretty helpful. Because I know how fast I need to turn, what degree of look ahead I need to maintain, etc., etc. Useful. So yeah, Brad, what do you think about this?
Most of my improvement hasn't been like big leaps forward. As it's mostly been pretty gradual. Like, my first sub 20 average was 19.7 or something. It wasn't suddenly I got a 16 average. But I have had barriers though. Like, it's not like, sub 20 was probably the biggest barrier for me, where like I was just stuck on sub 20 for weeks and weeks. But yeah, then I did eventually beat it by a tiny amount, and then just kept getting tiny amounts better. So I don't know if that's like an edge case, if most people normally like lurch forward.
Yeah, but I've been like stuck in this plateau between like 11 and 12 seconds for about like 6 months now. So to actually break it was like something. So yeah.
Can you think of any reason why? Like, was there something you did differently, or did you just suddenly do it?
I think my look ahead is generally better, and like my F2L is just, I'm thinking more like outside the box of how to solve pairs. I'm not just like rotate, solve, rotate, solve, rotate, solve. I'm like thinking, how could I solve this pair from this angle efficiently enough? Which is actually weird, because there comes a point where algorithmic F2L is quite a good thing. But like learning algs from different cases and what they do to the pieces especially is really good for look at. Doing stuff like solving 2 pairs blindfolded, which I know is a really cliche thing to do. But that is genuinely hard stuff, and it improves you a lot.
This sort of gets into another topic we'd planned to talk about at one point, which was like deliberate practice. And instead of just solving mindlessly for hours and like, why aren't I getting better? You do that sort of stuff where you solve 2 pairs blindfolded. And it sounds like that's what you're doing. Like, you're working on your F2L and your look ahead.
Yeah, I never, ever practice when I don't want to practice. I don't go out and say, like, I'm gonna do an average of 100 now because I'm slow.
Yeah.
I would never do that. Like,
I think
last
that's a
few
good
days
thing
I've
to
just
do.
been doing last few days I've just been doing, like, averages of 100 and 3x3 because I've genuinely been enjoying the event, as it's what it is. I haven't felt the need to get faster, even though I know I'm, like, semi-fast now all of a sudden. But I just, I've actually really enjoyed it. So I think that's another one of the reasons why I feel faster at the event, is actually because I like it now, whereas before I kind of hated 3x3 as an event. I thought it was really kind of bland and boring, but no, it's pretty decent.
Yeah, I guess once you break a barrier and you have like the positive mindset and you're like, yay, I'm now sub 10 or whatever it is, then I guess that encourages you to cube even more, because you find it fun, and that's when good growth take place, I guess.
Yeah, it's like, everybody knows that I suck at OH, like, I may average 11 on 3x3, but that does not mean at all that I am, like, semi-decent at OH. I'm god-awful at it, to be honest. I average, like, 23 globally, maybe. I mean, my PB... Okay, so this is why I don't practice more OH, is I've been trying to get sub 20 for, like, ages, right? And every time I get close to getting sub 20, I just miss it by that much. As in, my PB average of 5 right now is 20.05.
Missed it
Oh,
by
wow.
that
And
much.
this is the reason why... Yes, Maxwell Smart. Anyone? No, but, like, I swear, if I actually got 1 sub 20 average on OH, I'm pretty sure I would actually try and get better at the event for what it is, but... Right now, I'm just in a whole world of suck, and I can't see myself getting out of a whole world of suck, so...
Yeah, on deliberate practice, I sort of have like a bunch of notes here prepared. Book I've read, which I recommend, so good they can't ignore you, by I think Atul Gawande is the guy. But yeah, that's it's not about cubing, obviously. But it's basically about getting good at a certain thing, and then like career advice and stuff. But I thought some of the techniques in that book could definitely be applied to cubing, and like he talks about deliberate practice in the book a lot. Which is he says that's how you improve. You can't just keep solving and expect, like, why aren't I getting better if you just keep solving, because that's not going to improve anything. If you're having fun, like, the reason people cube is because it's fun, I hope. So if
Yes.
the reason people just solve for hours and hours is because they find it fun. But like deliberate practice is not as fun for people.
No, deliberate practice is not fun at all. Like,
Yeah, if you're finding deliberate practice fun, then you're not doing it properly.
in January, I was like, I am slow. I'm gonna do an average of 100 each day from now on. And that lasted like 10 days. And I was just like, no, I'm like really slow. And,
If you're just like doing solves for the sake of it, and you're not getting any faster, I guess if anything, if you're just doing it and not trying to improve, if anything, it's just getting more used to solving at those times.
yeah, yeah, that's a good point. Like, set the bar low as well. That's a good point to make. One thing that helped is like actually taking breaks. Just
Yeah,
like, and I'm not even talking about for like an hour or two. I'm actually talking about for like weeks, even months. I've taken breaks before in many events, and I did this with 4x4 as well. I haven't solved a 4x4 in forever, and then recently I came back and broke all of my PBs back to back. And I think if you don't take breaks, you're really not getting the time to actually appreciate cubing for what it is.
And also, if you're not taking breaks, then it can develop bad habits. And if you already have bad habits, it's good to take a break so you can maybe get rid of them. Like I've done that with a lot of things.
Yeah, it's just like if you're surprised that if you haven't improved in a while, then the chances are that it's that you haven't learnt a new skill. Like what we were talking about, getting past sub 20. When I was getting past sub 20, I was like learning like new efficient ways to do F2L pairs and learning PLL and some OLL cases, and like right now I'm not improving a lot, and I know the reason for that. Like I'm fine that I'm not improving, but I know the reason for that, and if I wanted to improve, I know what I'd have to do. And this isn't just strictly, this is like life advice here. Welcome to the Life Advice podcast with a bunch of high schoolers from Australia. Like deliberate.
Totally legit, not a scam.
Yep.
With our guys, Ranting Man 101, aka Brad, Silly Guy 101, aka me, and Clickbait Guy 101, aka Bryce.
Just completely
We're like
free
televangelists.
advice. Just leave your credit card details below.
So this is off topic, but this is completely off topic, but this is something that really, really bugs me the other day. Is probably nobody outside of Australia will know what I'm talking about, but the Melbourne Cup is an annual horse racing event where basically it's the biggest one in pretty much Australia, really.
Yep.
It's a huge day, public holiday for all of Australians, and people just basically race horses, and whoever wins gets a turn of glory or whatever. Anyway, so last year we had one of our first female jockeys to win ever, and she recently released an autobiography and named it Life as We Know It. And this really annoyed me for two reasons. A, suddenly, after winning this race, she feels like she's legitimate enough to, like, write her own autobiography. And B, like, you're like 30-something. You can't speak about wisdom and, like, stuff at your age. You can't say, oh, this is life as we know it, and I'll just put it all in front of you in this book. No, leave that for, like, the people who are actually old and have wisdom, unlike you.
You need to be
You race
at least
horses. God.
0.56 Yodas.
Something that annoys me about like people who I go to school with, especially when we're in English class, is people try to be all deep, and I'm like, you're 14. You don't have any deep thoughts ever. Like, save it for your Instagram bio.
Yeah, you know, I was actually thinking about that today in English. We were meant to write about we were meant to write a story or whatever, and people like, yeah, writing all
that's
this
original.
emotional stuff, and I'm like, bro, why you do this?
And you're like, I live for dank memes.
And I just remembered I have peanut butter M&Ms in my drawer.
I hate it when people do that as well. They try and get like way too deep, like
Follow
writing the next Fault in Our Stars, tear jerking cancer stories of survival. Yeah, barriers. So yeah, I think barriers is a real kind of weird thing because sometimes you have to put in effort to break them. Sometimes they come naturally. Either way, barriers are weird as.
Sometimes it just happens. Like sometimes you'll wake up one day and you'll just be better. For some reason.
Yeah. Also, make sure you have good hardware because I remember like, I think it was a year or two ago that like I averaged really slow on 7x7. I averaged like 6 minutes to 7 minutes. I tightened to that cube that night, and suddenly I was like a minute faster. No joke. So yeah, just make sure you have good hardware. Have the right mentality. If you're not having fun, just leave it alone for like a week.
And also,
or even a month.
placebos can also actually sometimes work, even if they literally could have no way that they could logically make any sort of advantage.
Now, Bryce, I've got this magic potion here that'll make you the best speed cuber.
Bro, I got 60 cents in my drawer. I'll continue through the.
What about those
webcam.
peanut M&Ms? Can I have the peanut M&Ms? I'll give anything for peanut M&Ms.
I had the banana M&Ms the other day.
Ugh, that's disgusting.
They were pretty good, surprisingly.
Thank you, Bryce. Thanks for the M&Ms.
Alright, so we just had an e-transaction there, and I totally realized that Bryce's profile picture is distorted Keem, which is pretty amazing.
There are so many good titles for this episode. Distorted Keem.
Yes. Yeah, I feel like with goals, it's really easy to like set high bars for you or something like that. I don't think that is ever a good thing. These days when I go into a competition, basically my goal is to keep my PB streak, which isn't very hard at all, and have fun. Those are my two goals. And it's like, it's not even keeping a PB streak, that's setting the bar really low, cause like, tons of my solves in comp actually suck, so, I think it's just generally a good mentality to have, cause, there's never been a comp where I haven't beat, like, more than one PB, easily. So, yeah, I think that's a good mentality to have.
Yeah, that's what I like to do, like, in comps, have a PB streak. Yeah, I like to do that, and also, try not to do terror. I don't really mind.
Yeah,
I don't really mind what I do.
That's a good goal in general.
I don't really mind what I do at home, like what in regards to my solves.
Trying not to do terrible is a good idea, but like,
I thought about that one long and hard.
you come to a point later when you become an older cuber and you realize that like, if you get a bad solve, it doesn't matter. You're gonna get another try. It's like, calm down.
Yeah.
It's not like this is the end of the world. You're not gonna wake up and there's gonna be like no competitions tomorrow.
Well, if you're in Australia.
I
there's
mean,
never any
comps don't happen that often in Australia, but they do happen. Actually, they happen much more than they used to, which is cool, but definitely not as much as the US, where there's strictly a comp every single weekend.
Yeah.
No, I think PB streaks are a very good goal to have, because
Have you gotten a PB streak since your first comp, Rhys?
yeah, my PB streak is currently 14 comps, so
Damn.
it's pretty good.
What about you, Bryce?
Damn, Daniel.
Oh my god, no. Dynafire. What about you, Rhys? Bryce, damn it. What about you?
Yep.
What about you, Bryce?
Damn, Daniel.
I've been on a PB streak ever since my first comp.
I broke mine at my last comp. I was sad.
Oh yeah, Brad, you did crap, man. You
Yep.
suck.
I'm gonna blame
Bread speed.
I know there's that rule about how you're supposed to not be intentionally bad, but I broke that rule. I got an intentionally plus 10 solve.
Oh, let's not talk about that one. That was the one that
What?
changed the regulations because of me.
That's on 4x4, right?
Yeah. No, I did that once where, like, sometimes I do it where, don't do this, but, like, I got a really bad solve, and I was talking to Jay earlier, and he said there was this guy in like Poland or something like that. When he gets like a really bad cube solve, you know how it's like terrible trying to find out whether it's a +2 or not on Scube. He like would make it as even as possible on both sides, and like stop the timer, and just let the judge work it out. Yeah, I've done that a couple of times.
That's satanic.
It is satanic, especially on Scube, because like nobody can work out Scube +2s.
Yeah. Yeah, is there anything else to tackle here? Deliberate practice and stuff?
I want to tackle Bradley Speed and why he's such a nub in comp.
I am, though. I am a pretty big knob. I wear that badge proudly.
Sub 13 average in comp. Solid.
I've done actually really. I've done a lot better in my competition solves than like regularly at home.
Yeah.
Like it's really good.
Actually, I'm still pissed off at Brad because like he got that sub 13 average before I got my first one, and like I don't want me to like boast or anything, but I was like always like the faster guy out of both of us. So as soon as I saw that on Cube Comps, I actually like flipped out. I was like, damn it!
Oh, I'm weirdly happy about that now. I didn't care about it before, but
You didn't care about it? What? That was like
who cares about WCA comps? Just go along
it was
and solve
at
them.
your like fourth comp when you averaged like high 14s and you got a sub 13 you oh my god.
Yeah, Rhys, does this piss you off? Yeah. Yeah, just
Yeah,
go
it
on
does.
about it a bit more.
But the joke's on you because I have like way faster than you now.
Oh, do you guys know that Jacob Sartorius?
Yeah.
Oh, I love Jacob Sartorius.
Yeah.
You better be being sarcastic.
Best singer ever. No man, his singing is just too good. And he's rapping. Have you heard him rap the alphabet? It's like so good.
He raps. You shouldn't rap. He's a 12-year-old white boy.
No, he raps the alphabet.
Oh, yeah, that's
so he's
fine.
like A B C D E F G H I J K L M N O P Q R S T U V W X Y and Z 1 2 3 8. It's good. He literally went up in front of like people that paid to see him and did that.
Rapped the alphabet.
Oh, this is so bad. Oh, my ears are. Oh. I'm cringy, guys.
A B C D E F G H I J K L M N N O P.
Oh my god.
Oh, that is cancer. That is epitome of cancer.
Q R S T U V W X Y Z.
This is actually the worst thing I've ever heard.
People are like screaming. They're
Yeah,
like,
people are actually buying this. He's rapping the alphabet and people are buying it. What does this world come to? Oh my god, what is this?
it's so bad.
Keemstar Hitler. Okay, I'm gonna stop here because there are too many memes.
Meme overload. That's the death of the podcast. Final episode
Yep.
just explodes with memes.
Damn, Daniel. Here's a good one. You know you've been cubing too long when you are a virgin.